go out early, fail early, try to discover your passion. And once you do that, life just opens up.
Hey guys, so I'm here today with David Busby. He's a creative director of Never Miss a Shot. He's a close friend of mine. He's an entrepreneur, and we're about to dive into his story. So David, so I know who you are, but for the people at home watching this on LinkedIn or on YouTube or listening to this on the podcast right now, who is David Busby? What do you do?
All right. So David Busby, a lot of you guys might have known me when I played sports. Done the student athlete thing, played in North Texas, finished up my college career in Oklahoma. A lot of people might know me as Buzz the Shooter. You can follow my Instagram down below. And from my Instagram, I've created a networking group and gotten involved with a lot of people in Dallas. We're all working towards one goal, and we feel that if we actually put time in to helping each other, we can all achieve our own goal.
Mm-hmm. So it's an old quote that I heard someone say a couple weeks ago. And basically it comes down to, if you want to go fast, you go by yourself. If you want to go far, you go with a team. And it seems like that's something you're trying to do in Dallas. And that's one thing I noticed from other areas that Dallas doesn't have much of. We don't have a lot of cooperation. I see that you're working with a lot of artists and just building your network as much as possible. So how does that really help you to, get clients, get work, find qualified people? Like, how does that help you push your business ahead?
Right, and kind of just to clear up the team part of it that you kind of touched on. Any team isn't the right team. So what I mean by that is, at the beginning, I started out with a team. But this team was a group of friends, that we've all went to. Everything was comfortable, everything was easy, but the only bad thing is we didn't execute. We didn't hold each other accountable like we would, someone in the office or something like that. The main thing I'm trying to get out of that is, a team isn't always the right thing to do. Being with friends, you might take it easy or you might not get certain goals accomplished. But actually defining and building a team that can actually help you, who's willing to go that extra mile, who has that same passion as you. That's kind of where the team atmosphere comes from. Not just anyone, because a group of people can get together and they can accomplish some things, but a team with the same motivation, same passion, same discipline, that's what you're looking for. That's what I believe the team atmosphere is.
Okay, I like that, because I know, when I started out, a lot of times especially trying to work with people in school, and one thing I realized, working with students sometimes very difficult.
Right.
Because everyone wants to be this, everyone wants to do this, but no one actually wants to put in any work and get stuff done, and for a common cause. And I've seen that you actually been able to generate people and work with people who actually want to get stuff done and do that. So I want to jump into another part a little bit deeper into you right there, because I know at one time you were, because I was there with you in this part right here, but you were at UNT and then you transferred over to Oklahoma. How was that transition? Like how did it make you think? How did it make you feel? Was it a defining moment of your life, or how was the decision made?
Well, at that time I was, finishing up my sophomore year of college, still young, still kind of confused, and really it was just a matter of not knowing which path I wanted to take. I've been doing sports my whole life, that was second nature to me. That's something that was easy, that just came to me. But the creative side is something that I wanted to pursue, something that challenged me. Not saying that football is not challenging. We both know how challenging football is. But this was a challenge that, that got me curious, got me thinking. I couldn't sleep some nights thinking about spending my time playing football versus, getting out there and doing what I love. And the thing that I learned, and this just came with experience, is I'm glad that I made the choice that I made, but for advice for you people in the same situation, just kind of create a list and write out your pros, write out your cons, and just weigh out your options. Because in the long run, I ended up playing football in Oklahoma still, which is what I was doing in North Texas. And the reason why I decided to still play football is because of scholarship, just to finish school. I was a business marketing major. And that's just kind of where I was headed. So the huge decision that I had to make was moving from Texas and starting over in Oklahoma. New world, new people, new face, but it was exciting. I could start over. People wouldn't look at me just as, student athlete, Now I can work in student athletes, now I can be with the creatives, just kind of mix. So it was a great experience for me. But I would highly recommend making a list and weighing out your pros and cons.
So would you say that's the most defining moment in your life, or you say there's another moment?
I wouldn't call that the defining moment of my life. Defining moment of my life, I would have to put a mark on, leaving corporate America, stepping into my shoes and going after my goal, going after my passion, building something from scratch, that was more so of my defining moment in my life. This really opened up my eyes. This really made me have to go down one path and stick to it. Honestly, it's the best decision I've ever made. And I would highly recommend you guys to go out early, fail early, try to discover your passion. And once you do that, life just opens up, things just falls in place for you.
Yeah.
You're not trying to fit into this mold of whoever this person wants to make you. You're really free, you're uncut, and you're doing what you love. And that's what I would highly recommend.
I like that. Yeah, because I that was very interesting right there. Because I know we both had experiences of, just stepping away from corporate America and then trying to build something of your own, creating everything. Because I know there you worked on a lot of projects. You brought the company, a lot of money, a lot of opportunities, and you did a lot of stuff for them. And I know it was challenging sometimes, to step off. And what was a couple of the most challenging portions, of leaving your job when you had your stable income and stuff? So taking that, the walk off the edge or the walk off the cliff right there to do your own thing, you had your comfy job, you were making good money there, you're working on a lot of big projects and stuff. What was one of the hardest part about that decision, that you can think of, and what made it so hard to actually do that?
One of the hardest parts about just overall decision is, telling yourself that you must make a commitment and understanding that this is a risk are real. So that's pulling myself out of this scenario where I'm comfortable, stable, relaxing, kind of on cruise control. And then, jumping out there into the wild. But you have to be ready for the wild. This isn't something for everyone. Understanding and knowing what risk that you're facing is a huge part about it. And that was kind of the toughest challenge to me, just battling with myself internally about, do I want to take my foot off of cruise control and put my foot on the metal? Or,
Yeah, because you're leaving money behind, and, and you have to take care of your family and stuff like that, and you have obligations and stuff. I know how difficult it is, but when we think about it, you stepped off, but I've never seen you more free, more happy.
Yeah.
You work on the stuff you want to work on. You travel when you want to. It's a better experience for you. And I know it's not perfect for every single person.
Right.
Some people like the stability. Some people like the consistent structure. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
But I did notice that with you, and because I know it allows you to take your curiosity and do other stuff. So David, what are you curious about now? You have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do. What are you curious about? What are you thinking about doing?
You know, the first thing that jumps to mind is, you know, something I didn't have, you know, firsthand contact with, but building these long-lasting relationships with these clients. You know, every project is a different experience. You know, you build a new connection, you know, which might outreach to more connections. Just the endless possibilities is something that gets me, you know, just excited about this. This industry alone, film, you know, you can connect with anyone, you can collab with anyone, but the thing that I see that kind of overpowers everything is, you know, committing and creating these long-lasting relationships for years on end. You know, business today will be business in 30 years.
So basically you're saying like just relationships has really helped you kind of push your business forward. And I know just from, you know, watching you that you get tons of, you know, clients and stuff coming from social media, from other relationships you have in the past. Like how important is building relationships for actually growing a business?
I think it's very important. You know, a lot of people nowadays, they want something they can get behind, brands that they can get behind. You know, people want to pay for an experience, not just a project. Anyone can do a video, anyone can do any work, any project, but you know, having that full-on experience, having them have a great time while completing a project is something you can't put a price on, you know?
Yeah. So you talk experience. So how, like, what is the experience? Like, what is the customer experience that you're trying to lay out? Like I want to learn more about this right here.
Okay.
This is pretty interesting. I like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll dive in a little bit deeper. So, the first part is pre-production. You know, that's when you're sitting in with your client. You know, it's kind of gray area. You warming up to each other, but then once that's out of the way, you kind of go deeper into each other's mind. You create a vision, you create the story, you want to produce this outcome, this feeling together, and that's something that's amazing. You know, I didn't know what the client stories might have been before, but talking with them, learning a little bit more about their background, a little bit more about their company's culture, is something that shapes that pre-production process. And my all-time favorite is the production process. That's shoot day. This is where we get to, you know, kind of show our stuff. You know, this is game day for me. So I always get a little butterflies still. You know, you remember in college, just before the games, you get those butterflies. If you're not getting those butterflies, I don't think it's for you, you know?
Yeah.
And then after is the post-production. So this is the experience where they're loving, they're criticizing, they're giving you insight on your work, you know? And this is the part that I feel like a lot of people want to hide from, but this is the part that I embrace. This is the part where the client is helping me better myself for projects to come. I don't want just, oh, great. No, I want to improve, you know? Yeah. And that's just something that I'm excited about. I know I will take some W's. I know I'll take a lot of W's. I might take a few L's.
You take a couple L's.
I might take a few L's, and that's something that I want to learn from, you know?
Yeah.
And you should embrace that. Is one of the main things I want to communicate.
Yeah, and saying that right there, I know tons of people are literally fearful of criticism.
Right.
And I like how you said you embrace it, and like I know like just like how do you get to that point where like I value what you say, but I'm not taking it personally upon myself?
I think that comes at the beginning, in that pre-production stage. That's when you guys kind of establish that respect, that center balance between each other. You know, we all have one goal, and that's stated in that first meeting. We all have one goal, and yeah, it might be a little tough love, but the main thing I wanted to do is establish respect And if you don't establish respect at the beginning, that's when it can turn into those fearful criticisms that people are scared to face.
Oh no!
That's kind of when that enters the field. But honestly, just establishing that respect in the forefront helps a lot.
All right. So tell me about a bad experience you have with a client, or maybe a bad experience that you gave to them. Just tell me about something.
Bad experience early on. So something that you guys should definitely avoid and definitely put in your contracts when dealing with clients. The amount of reviews and feedbacks revisions that the client has.
Yeah.
I was not clear about how many revisions is appropriate. I'm telling you, dude, these guys went step by step, day after day. Small changes versus kind of what we do now and what I advise for everyone. Just do probably 2 revisions. Have them and their team go over every detail of that video.
I can imagine.
And submit one revision versus going back and forth, and that's how you fall into that revision death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then because you're in that huge cycle, and then you get to the point where, and then they're like, oh, but we want it done now. We want it done to this deadline. But like the clients most times don't see that they added all these changes.
Yeah.
And like, so it moves stuff. I have experienced that, and you have to have those revisions that comes right.
That's a mistake that fell early. That I'm glad that I fell really early, but that's a common mistake. That's something that you have to face and get through. But you guys, highly recommend clarifying how many revisions your client has.
Okay, so how many revisions should someone have? Just standard. Like if you have like
standard, depending on the project size, I would honestly say 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Have them meet with their team because this is an effort on both sides. They have people who should review the product. They know what vision they would like. So I think it's kind of like a collaboration on that. So 2 to 3, I think that's mutual grounds right there.
So remember that, guys. 2 to 3, not
grounds.
23. 2 to 3 would say you can do a 23.
Yeah, my first, I think it was like 20 revisions. I almost stopped.
The funny thing about that, the whole thing about revisions and like working with fixed fees, is that I noticed that people so if the most valuable thing to you is money or time, which one?
Time.
So if you're a client and you come to me and you say time is the most valuable thing, so if I tell you that I can do what you want me to do for $5,000, and then you tell me, oh no, it costs too much.
Right.
So the thing is, I see a lot of people would do. They will say time is their most important thing, but then they don't want to pay for. They want to pay less for people to finish faster. So if I'm doing an assignment and it takes me 10 hours, and you're doing an assignment and it takes you 2, you technically should be able to charge more than I charge, not just per hour, but charge more.
Right.
But it'd be the opposite. You will actually lose, 8 hours worth of time, and then I'll, sitting on the project will get benefited. And that's one thing I don't like about kind of like the hourly projects a little bit, is because you, for doing good work, you get punished. Yeah. For doing stuff in a timely manner, you get punished.
Yeah.
And for, and then like for fixed price, once you get the revision game kind of, as you said with your story, kind of set up a little bit better, then you don't have the whole problem with, doing 305 revisions or 21 revisions.
Right.
Yeah. So I understand that part tremendously.
Definitely, man. Definitely. That's something we have to control. You gotta take control of this.
Can't let it get out of hand. So on this way to get to where you are, what people have helped you on this journey?
First and foremost, I couldn't do anything without the Lord, but my backbone that really, helped me from 17 to 23 is my girl, Kiara.
I thought you were going to say me. I'm joking.
and X. But no, I couldn't do anything without my girl, Kiara Urbina. She's been my emotional and,
Just a rock.
Just my rock, you know.
Yeah.
She's so strong. So, you know, she just motivates me to, you know, want to go out there, want to try new things, you know, just to provide for us, and just put us one step closer to our goal.
I like that.
So shout out Kiara.
She'll be on here. Okay. So, okay. What like influencers or other people outside of the people you might know generally that kind of help you, kind of motivate you to do more stuff or influence you?
Someone who kind of motivated me to, you know, just want to pick up my game, elevate my game, would be someone who's originally from Dallas as well as Andre Ledon. He's made a name for himself. He's, you know, he's out in LA now. But just seeing where he comes from and understanding his self-taught, I'm also a self-taught artist, just understanding that discipline and commitment that it really takes to, you know, kind of take that leap on your own and choose your own path. This guy just motivates me to want to up my game and my work and all over the boards, you know.
So yeah, he's one of the people that you see his work and you're like, oh my God.
Right.
You know, oh damn, I need to get out there and do some stuff.
Gotta do something.
Gotta get stuff done.
And another guy who's kind of just changing the whole culture of the film industry is Ryan Coogler. This is the director of Black Panther, writer of Creed. This guy...
Oh, he's a writer of Creed? I didn't know that.
Writer of Creed,
it was good.
So we kind of have like, you know, similar backgrounds. You know, we both student athletes out of high school, kind of made that decision whether or not to stick with sports or go the creative route. But just, you know, just that grit and determination that I receive from Ryan is, you know, what makes me want to step up.
That's interesting. I like that. So kind of going on that note right there, how do you currently get clients?
I currently outsource clients. You know, I have a lot of people who email me and they get my contact from social media such as Instagram, Facebook. So the social media right now is booming. You know, for the videographers, the video marketing industry right now. Everyone wants content. Everyone wants cool content, creative content. You know, video work that demonstrates their brand, their story. And that's kind of how I've been, you know, approaching a lot of my clients and, you know, doing those collaborations a lot off of social media.
Yeah, I see you kill it off social media. I know a lot of times, like, when I might go to a project with you, you'll, you know, I'm like, hey, what'd you get? Know this person? Like, oh, this person messaged me on social because they seen this video.
Right,
they seen this. And
right.
like,
It's huge. It's huge now.
So what's the importance of being there and posting and staying consistent on those platforms?
A huge thing is people love to see you, not all the time, but people love to see you grow. So what I want to do is show people, and what I've tried to do on social media is show people my whole journey, you know, starting from just a concept of, I think I want to do videography to, you know, to how to become a full-time filmmaker, you know. This is just kind of a few areas where social media can, you know, really help and really put you on the platform.
Okay. So what's the biggest deal that you ever created? I mean, ever gotten, I haven't created, but, you know, ever got.
Biggest deal.
Biggest deal, biggest project.
Right.
You don't have to throw numbers out if you don't want to. You know.
Y'all don't want numbers?
Yeah.
Biggest project, which was actually a really cool project, is this YMCA campaign that I did for their family center. It was a series of 2 videos. It was 2 video campaign. That was one of my first big breaks, you know, that really got me out there and got a lot of experience from this, you know. But something I love, and I encourage a lot of you guys just to get out your comfort zone and just go out there and talk to people. People talk back. And that's one of the hardest part about it is just going out there and doing it. Once you get that step down, sky's the limit, right, X?
Yep. Don't talk too much like I used to, but but talking is good. No,
Yeah.
so we kind of learned a lot. We learned a lot about you. So what is like one thing you want everybody else, one tip or advice that you want to give to the audience to help someone out there? Just just put that one person out there that might need help with trying to make it to where you are. And being self-sufficient as a as an entrepreneur or a creator and a filmmaker.
Right. A tip that I would give to someone who has an idea and you have to have discipline, you have to have commitment. I'm talking to people with these kind of intangibles. What you want to do is go out there and network. There's so many people, no matter where you're living, people with the same passion, people with the same work ethic, same vision as you. The hard part is going out there, reaching out to them. It's kind of getting out of your comfort zone. But networking is what's really, taking me from 0 clients to X amount of clients right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the huge takeaways that I would try to push on everyone is getting out your comfort zone and going out there, networking, collabing, building content. That's a huge one. That's a close second. That was a thing that I had trouble with at the beginning. Wanting your video, your project to be 100% perfect is not up to you. That's up to your viewers. That's up to your audience. Let them decide. But you do what you love, which is creating content, releasing content, and collabing.
I like that, because perfection is the enemy of done.
Oh yeah, man.
So I just cut you off.
No, you're fine.
No, but so having David here today has been wonderful. David, as you can see, is on Up Next podcast, so he's up next on that part. But David, please let us know kind of like where we can find you at on social media. Obviously I'm gonna put everything down in the description, but let everybody know what you're doing going forward and where we can find you on social media.
Right, and I just wanted to first off say I appreciate Xavier for reaching out to me. Fan of your work. Motivated by your work ethic, and that's a lot of the time that gets unseen and unnoticed. But first, huge shout out to Xavier Kelly.
Thank you for that.
But you guys can find me on social media, Buzz the Shooter, link below. I'm also on Facebook, David Busby, and also Twitter, Buzz the Shooter.
Yeah. So you heard it here first. You got David Buzz the Shooter. Check him out on Instagram. If you have any videos that you need to get shot, or you need to need any help on really anything on the creative standpoint from a filmmaker from that part, reach out to David. I'm gonna put all the information below. And thanks, David, for having me on.
Oh man.